Hi, it's Peg and Des on
Basketball Wives.
The Girls Go to London, and Evelyn launches her line.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, before we dive in, remind you guys, subscribe to our channel and rate our videos.
Absolutely, and make sure to check out the other videos on our channel.
So I have a little bit of a shocker for you this week.
Okay.
I kind of like this episode.
All right.
Maybe it's because they're in London, and I love London. Maybe it's because I've spent a few weeks with these women now, and I give a, marginally...
Weeks? It's been months.
Marginally more of a crap about their lives. Maybe it's because they hauled Shanice out again. I don't know, but I kind of thought it was a good episode.
Evelyn went all the way to London with a bag of clothes that she has never seen.
Okay, and not only that, but has the nerve to talk about, we designed these looks so that they're very simple. I was like, you didn't design anything, Evelyn.
But to not even have looked at the clothing.
Because you're afraid if something might be wrong.
What would you have done if you'd arrived and okay, let's just talk about the line itself. The clothes were not horrible.
No, but they're very average. Like
they weren't horrible, but they were just very basic.
You said, easy pickings. I could find those clothes anywhere. I looked at that poor skinny model. They couldn't find anything to fit her. Normally it's like the bigger model that's the fit problem.
Right.
But Evelyn's clothes are made for a girl with body.
Well, you have to have body to give the clothes some life because the clothes independently don't have life.
Right.
It's one of those outfits where if you don't come to the table with a nice setup, then it's just going to be a messy dress.
Which is supposed to be the opposite, because the reason why fashion people use models is because they're like hangers, and the clothes can just sort of hang on them, and they fall properly, and there's no body getting in the way of the design. This is so badly designed that it's the opposite.
The clothes, I'm trying to think if there were any piece. I guess the most impressive part of that show to me was Shanice.
Love Shanice.
I love Shanice. When Evelyn was in the confessional and she was like, Shanice just has so much body. I was like, she does. Yeah, she does. She's a bad bee.
I love her. I want to show my Shanice.
Right. I wouldn't mind it. Here's
something that struck me as well. Evelyn said at the show, which turned out not to be that bad, they had people there, that the proceeds of the line are going to go to charity. And I was thinking...
The whole line, right?
The whole line and all 100% of the proceeds? Is that what you're saying to me, Evelyn? Because that's what it sounded like to me, but I'm not buying that that's what's going to be.
But I'm wondering, how are you going to sustain a line if the proceeds... Are you going to make any more clothes? Is this the line and this is it?
Well, no, lines come out every season. So this is the fall line.
Okay, so fall comes out. You donate all the money to PETA. When the spring comes, who's paying for the new line?
Evelyn with her
No, she's not.
Her buku dollars.
So every season, Evelyn is financing an unprofitable clothing line. I think what she was saying is 5% of half of 1/3 of the leftover money from the white dress is going to be put towards charity. I think that was her point.
That was exactly what I was thinking. But when she said the proceeds, I was like...
She did give totality in that statement, and we know that that's not the truth.
But I thought the ladies were very nice. They were very supportive.
Yes.
As, Evelyn said, they can be hard on each other when they go to each other's events. I liked it when she referred to Tasha's birthday party as having crickets at the party. But her event was very well supported by the ladies.
Still wasn't as good as Tammy's event.
No, Tammy's event was popping.
Tammy's event takes the cake, Evelyn comes in a strong 3rd, and Tasha gets 17th. That's how that goes.
Okay, so can we talk about Susie and Tasha's ridiculous fighting on this trip?
Oh my God, I'm just gonna kind of shut my eyes and try to put it out of my head. I can't deal with them. The level, when Tammy said in the car, I just can't with this argument. Yes. I think she and I said that at the same time. Because it's one thing for two people to be going at it, right? I mean, because that almost, to a certain extent, gives you a little bit of entertainment in the space.
Right.
But that little... I can't even remember what Tasha said. Just a little stupid
backbiting.
But the dumbest comments.
Yes.
I guess Susie's really feeling herself.
Yeah, all these little snappy But I can't talk to Susie that's sitting right there.
Right. You know, Susie really thought she was doing the most, knocking my hat off.
Yes.
Somebody should have knocked that hat off. It looked ridiculous, number one. And number two, if you're going to get into it with Susie, get into it with Susie.
Well, then when Susie hands her the wine and she goes, "Thank you, Susie, you're not welcome." Well, then why'd you hand her the glass?
Exactly. And then Tasha, "I can't drink this. Evelyn, give me another glass of wine." And Evelyn was like, "Oh, sure."
I was
so stupid. Their argument is so anticlimactic, and Evelyn and Tammy were really working hard at the dinner table to give it some climax, right? Because Tasha and Susie apologized to each other, and then Susie says, "I don't even know why we're angry with each other." Evelyn hops in, she was like, "'Cause you threw her hat off her head." And then
so funny.
Right, and then Tammy goes, "So are y'all really good? I mean, really good?" They're looking for ways to get it stirred up.
I think that these shows feed on that, that cat fighting drama.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I like this episode is because once Tasha and Susie realize that neither one of them have the stomach to give the show the kind of energy you get from a real cat fight.
Right.
And they decided to just sort of shelve their pathetic attempt.
Right.
They were all getting along, and I thought it was nice. I was like, you don't have to have that kind of wild behavior. You don't have to show these women, acting a fool to create a show. That's kind of what I like. I like the energy of them having a good time in London, enjoying fashion shows. Right. I like seeing the fashion shows. I like seeing their outfits going to the fashion shows. So I thought, this is fine. Give me this. Maybe some people think it's boring, but I liked it.
Give me the heat. I am the person who enjoys the heat. If you're going to have an argument on camera, let it be a real argument. I don't want to see any of that petty foolishness. So we need to talk about Marlon and Shaunie on that date.
Oh my God.
What is fear of heights called? What's the former phobia or like what is the formal?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Fear of heights. So Marlon has a fear of heights, and Shaunie can't think of anything to do but to take him up in the London Eye and called it a romantic date.
Yes,
so he took her boxing.
Sweating.
Right, he took her boxing, and you don't like that, but he has a legitimate fear of heights. And so you take him up in the London Eye, and that's romance.
And he white knuckles it for you. And then afterwards you say, "Well, I think that was a fantastic date." Yes, I think scaring your date to death right. using one of their phobias in life is very romantic, Shaunie.
She was ridiculous with that. And once again, I was looking at the chemistry between the two of them, and there is none. I was looking for it, but there isn't any.
Well, I mean, they got a nice bottle of champagne. I think that's
where the chemistry is, in that bottle of champagne.
That London Eye ride, unless they ran around twice, is about maybe 15, 20 minutes. So they really had to guzzle the champagne down. And maybe that's why Shaunie felt like it was a good date, if they had to finish it before the end of the ride.
Tammy's daughter got robbed.
Tammy is the most dramatic woman I have ever met in my life. Here she is in London. She hasn't slept all night because her daughter got robbed. I mean, I get it. Your daughter's upset, robbed at gunpoint and all that stuff. But she's, a tizzy. And then somehow she makes it about herself. It becomes all about Tammy.
Well, Tammy said last week, "All I care about is me." Quote, unquote. Doesn't get any clearer than that.
Well, she started to beat up her daughter when she gets home.
Her point was, when the robber hopped out the car, the robber did not ask anyone else in her crew for their things. Now, that is suspicious to me too. I mean, if I'm going to rob a group of people, well, not rob the group of people, but Tammy decides that it's best to handle the situation by threatening additional violence against her child after her child has been threatened with violence and a robbery. When I get home, there's going to be a confrontation. That's what she says.
Tammy only has two modes. Snarkiness and blowing up.
Yes.
She can't handle anything else. As she told Susie by the river, she can't handle her mother's illness.
No.
To the point where she doesn't even ask her mother, "How are you doing?
No.
How are things progressing?" She just can't handle it.
I'm wondering, is Tammy watching this show back now that her mother is gone and feeling any type of way?
No.
About how she has presented her mother's illness and her relationship with that illness?
No.
She's that indignant?
I will guarantee you the answer to that question is no. She has asserted many times that she does not want to participate in her mother's disease, and that she wants it to just happen quickly and quietly and be done with.
And over there.
And over there.
Because we can't forget hospice.
And she has had many opportunities to reflect on this behavior, and she's not taking a one.
I can't stop shaking my head.
That's Tammy for you, I guess.
Next week, Kenya is back.
And the crazy stalker.
Right, Tasha has a stalker.
Tasha and Stephon Marbury have a stalker.
How does Stephon Marbury have a stalker in China? Is this an international stalker?
Maybe she's fine. Well, I mean, I guess when he's away, she stalks Tasha. And then when he's back,
she stalks him.
Right.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to figuring out how she gets. Oh, because we also find out she's stalking the girls on the show via Twitter.
Right.
Right. So.
And it's a finale next week. That was fast. I didn't think I was gonna make it, y'all. Now I went to the end.
I think it was 9 or 10 episodes.
I think it was like 9
episodes. All right. So next week, Kenya's performance.
All right, everyone, subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
And tell us what you think in the comments.
Absolutely. Make sure to check out the other videos on our channel.
Bye.
Bye.